What's up, what's up, what's up? Late night, man. Who up? Who is up late tonight, man? I had to get it in tonight, man. I've been on the phone all night. Trying to figure some stuff out, doing some researching. It's getting real interesting out here, man. It's getting real interesting, man. Who is up? I'm trying to see who up rocking tonight. I know it's Wednesday, well, it's Thursday now, technically, but, you know, people's out hanging out, partying and all that. Wednesday night, who is up, man? Who up? Talk to me, man, talk to me. I got some breaking news. I got some breaking news, man. I need to figure out some things. I need a few people to, give me some help figuring something out, too. I want to just go over a few things. And I want to say I'm just a messenger. That's it. I'm just a messenger. So I've been up on the phone calls, going through, researching some stuff, because I want to know too. All this Diddy stuff going on and people saying Diddy was the one that bust the gun. So I just get a call today saying that they know that they are 100% correct that Diddy didn't bust the gun, that Shyne bust the gun. They saying Shyne bust the gun. All right, so they say Natanya Rubin. Beanie, what up? All right. So they got Natanya Rubin. It says, the Scoop Entertainment newsletter, News Nation, Natanya Rubin says she is willing to have doctors remove a piece of a bullet that remains in her face to prove Sean Diddy Combs shot her at a New York nightclub in 1999. Right? V Main. Fish. All right, so the lady is saying that she willing to take the bullet out of her face to prove that Diddy shot her. So I don't know how that works. Beanie. Beanie, what's good, Beanie? What's going on? All right, now, V-Main, we got, I can't say it's false news, but I'm going to let y'all decide from what I'm hearing. I got the guy that says that he was right there. He says he's the one that threw the money at Puff, which set off the whole ordeal. And he's about to come out with it. But we're going to go through this real quick. All right. So she's willing to take the bullet out of her face to let, investigators check the bullet to show that Puff is the one that shot the gun. Like I said, I don't know how that worked, how the investigators would know that it was Puff that shot it, if the bullet comes out of her face or whatever. And I do want to say, because she did get shot, I don't know who shot her, but this is what's being said. So, big respect to her, and I'm glad she recovered from it. And I'm not here to tear her down or nobody down about this situation. I'm just here to relate information that was brought to me. So, I wanna pull up some things real quick. Hold on, y'all. And you know, this is MTV. And this is what Shyne had to say.
Discernible reference to Shyne's one-time co-defendant, label boss, and the man who arguably has had the biggest impact on his life, Sean Puffy Combs. As you know from the media standpoint, your trial was the Puffy trial. Do you feel that worked against you all, the fact that 99% of the focus was on him?
Obviously, he was the uber star, and I was just up and coming. So, you know, yeah, it's going to be a show. But he used that to just, you know, just threw me off. Like, you know, it was just terrible, man.
To many, Jamal Shyne Barrow is an answer to a trivia question.
So you got Shyne, you know, mad at Puff. So I'm trying to figure, if a person mad at a person, why wouldn't they just go ahead and, you know, basically let the world know what it really is? And you know, the name of the game is, especially if you shot somebody and you know you did it, you gotta handle that, because you pull that thing out in front of everybody and shot. You can't let nobody else go to jail for something you did. Now I get it. They saying Puff is the man with the money, so you gotta take the downfall for the boss. But it's in parts of these interviews, you can see where he felt Puff did him dirty. So now if a person did you dirty, why would you stick around and still make it look like as if you're not being done dirty? So that means he was doing a lot of good acting and he was selling it real good. That's a fact. Unbiased, unbased was good. So now I'm going to let y'all hear this real quick, what Shyne say also.
Myers told jurors that it was Shyne who first opened fire inside the club, letting off 2 shots toward the ceiling. Shyne's lawyers conceded that their client fired his gun, but only in self-defense. Shyne has maintained from the beginning that Myers' testimony, asserting that he was the first to open fire on that fateful night, is untrue.
If I'm telling you that she's lying, and you saying, hey, you know, well, she helping me, but I'm facing 25 years, and you looking at probation. Yeah, those are the things that, you understand, are unacceptable. You don't have to hold my hand. You don't have to do nothing, but don't try to hurt me.
What continues to haunt Shyne to this day is that Myers wasn't called by the prosecution, but rather by his co-defendant's legal team. In his eyes, a move that doomed his own defense.
This woman was the most damaging witness of any witness. She was worse than the prosecution's witness. Right. Which destroyed me, because the prosecution is saying I'm this belligerent, reckless, you know, okay, corralled fella. And then my co-defendant is saying the same thing. That was it. That was it.
MTV News recently asked Sean Combs to respond to Shyne's allegations.
And see, what he's saying is, it was Puff legal team that put him up under the bus. And he was upset behind that. And now you got the prosecution and your co-defendant legal team putting you up under the bus. And he's not saying that he didn't shoot. He said it was self-defense. Shyne's saying self-defense himself. Once again, people say that he's saying that to take the blame for Puff to get the money. But once once Puff making it look bad for him through adding somebody on the stand, now that's Puff going all the way against him. I don't get him letting Puff nail him in the coffin like that if he was going to take the blame. Y'all pay attention to that, man. For real, man. It's not making any sense. And they trying to say that Shyne legal team was under Puff's payroll. And hold on. So, if they was on the payroll for Puff, why would they still be pushing Shyne as self-defense? They could have just threw the case all the way around the board. And Shyne's still saying self-defense. Also, and here's another thing I want y'all to check out real quick with Shyne. Before I get into these other things, I want to pull up some other stuff with Shyne saying some stuff on other podcasts. This Fat Joe interview.
Shyne. Yeah. When that happened, when that incident you allegedly did that, did you feel as if you were in fear for your life, or was you protecting your friends?
I was in fear for my life.
What would make you think, in top of the world, you in there with Puff,
because Scar, listen, no. Scar, who was the instigator, I know Scar from Brooklyn. Those are my guys. I didn't really have a problem with him. That wasn't my beef. That was Puff's issue. They had a problem with Puff for whatever reason. I don't know what their problem was with Puff. I'm not saying that it was a legitimate problem. But
so
that wasn't my problem.
What I'm saying to you is,
Scar, Nino, and the entire Brooklyn crowd was in Club New York. I seen them. It was all love. But when they started arguing with Puff, I know what these Brooklyn guys are capable of. I know what Scar is capable of. I knew what Nino was capable of. I knew. My charger. I know what happens once these arguments start. When these arguments start,
Shyne knew the guy.
It becomes a problem.
He knew what it was about to be.
What I'm saying to you, Shyne.
Once Scar starts saying, I'm gonna kill you, you DOA, once he starts talking crazy, I became afraid for my life. I know what happens, once he says, it's about to happen, it's about to happen. And I seen somebody reach for a gun, and I reached for my weapon, and I defended my friends and myself, because once he starts firing, once whoever else pulls out a gun starts firing, it doesn't stop there.
So Shyne, you don't think I'm over here with Puffy? There's two ways to think of it. I'm over here with Puffy, I'm over here with J-Lo, the biggest, richest stars in the world. This shit gonna be on CNN? Or do you just react at the time like, yo,
I'm thinking about saving my life. I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6.
And how did Puffy take it at the moment? Did he take it as, yo, you fucking my shit up doing that? Or, thank you for saving my life?
I think for him, it was more, he's a corporation. And he's just thinking about the corporation. So obviously, something like that affects the corporation terribly. But at the time, I was just thinking life or death. You know, so,
See, 'cause I didn't know
we didn't have an opportunity for him to say thank you for saving my life, for saving Jennifer's life, you know, for saving all our lives, because he was thinking about, you know, the corporation, and you know, that put the corporation.
Do you think he thinks you jumped the gun? Do you think he thinks you jumped the gun?
You know, you'd have to ask him that. You could ask me, do I think I jumped the gun? And my answer is absolutely
Do you think?
not.
And this
Absolutely
Shyne
not.
saying he shot the gun.
And so now you in trial, one of the most legendary trials in the world.
Yeah.
You fighting for your life, Puffy fighting, Wolf fighting. And we ain't got to go into detail, but I feel like you felt like the other lawyers was like, yo, my guy ain't do it. Maybe that guy did it. That's the word on the street.
That's absolutely what it was, you know, and you know, Puff apologized. He did apologize to me for that, you know, when we met in Paris. And, you know, he did say, you know, he could have handled it better, but he was under a lot of pressure, you know, from the lawyers, you know, to throw me under the bus. And that's exactly what, you know, Benjamin Brockman and Johnny Cochran and the entire Dream Team, that was their position, you know, because, again, Puff was a corporation.
And see, he's saying
Excuse
Puff,
me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Puff threw him under the bus. So if a man felt that somebody threw them under the bus, I ain't understanding how much money you can offer them to play with their life like that if you throwing them under the bus. Now, if he gonna take the weight and take some money from a person and hold it down, a person don't gotta throw him up under the bus. That ain't, it's unnecessary. But how the world is saying now that Shyne didn't shoot and Puff did. It ain't making sense. It was clicking to me like, hold up, wasn't Shyne complaining about Puff and all that? So how would they say that he took money and everything? And I'm saying, I'm giving y'all all this first before I give y'all the interview with the guy who was standing right there that threw the money in Puff's face. Yeah, that's getting ready to be crucial in what's going on in this part. Now, anything else Puff did, allegedly did, we not in that part. We don't condone none of that type of stuff what he's accused of, but we just giving some facts about certain things that people shouldn't be, I want to say it, accused of unjustly, man. But that was one thing. Now, I'll let y'all hear two. I'm going to let y'all hear one more thing with Shyne, man. Because it wasn't adding up to me how a person gets shot. And, you know, if she got the proof, then so be it. But I got somebody saying that ain't true. They said that she must have been in another club or something. I don't know. Hold up. The 18th letter. Yeah. I believe a lot of it is for money as well. A lot of it. But sometimes, you know, they always say when a lot of different people saying the same thing and from different places and things of that nature, 9 times out of 10, something is true in there. Here's another one with Shyne.
North Carolina, start your engines. BetMGM is live in the Tar Heel State. Download the app and He was on his way to becoming one of hip-hop's major superstars, signed to one of its biggest labels. But with a successful career still ahead of him, Jamal
Let's see what this right here gonna say, y'all.
in the stand. Why you wouldn't do that?
Because I wasn't built like that. You know, there's certain rules that you abide by. And this is the way I was brought up. That you don't sacrifice anybody in order to spare yourself.
Far from this prison, Shyne made his name on the streets of Brooklyn. And although much of the world first got to know him on the once tight bond.
So he was saying he didn't want to snitch to send somebody else to jail. Meaning, meaning that he shot the gun and he gonna own up to what he did. And that's how it's supposed to go. And that's a fact. So anybody dispute that don't even make sense to me, man. I'm trying to get this other part real quick.
Far from this prison, Shyne made his name on the streets of Brooklyn. And although much of the world first got to know him through that trial, sitting in court as Puffy's co-defendant, there's a story behind the life of Jamal Barrow, one that MTV News first told 3 years ago, shining a light on the then 22-year-old MC.
There's no denying that Jamal Shyne Barrow has had a tough life.
Hold on, that ain't that. I gotta get to the point.
Helped yourself out by identifying someone else or providing other information when you were in the stand. Why you wouldn't do that?
Because I wasn't built like that. You know, there's certain rules that
That's what I want
that
to
you
do.
abide by. And this is the way I was brought up. That you don't sacrifice anybody in order to spare yourself.
Far from this.
So yeah. These the words coming out of Shyne's mouth. So he's been deported. He's into politics now, but he's been back over here. I think he did an interview on with Angela Lee and Charlamagne and them. So that means he can come back. Which if he can come back, he can still take the stand and say whether he shot the gun or not. And not only that, I'm not understanding how they're not saying that the cameras wasn't rolling, which they said Puff bought off the cameras. Okay, cool. So the guy Scar that y'all heard about, Scar was one of the guys that the police was hunting him down. Crazy, they locked him up. They grabbed him and they were saying he was supposed to be testifying for them. The guy that I got that's getting ready to come out and speak about it was with Scar. He threw the money in Puff's face, and he said Shyne pulled down, started shooting. Say he was looking like Ice-T or Ice-T or something from Players Club, shooting crazy. Say he watched it with his own eyes. Shyne shooting. And his homeboy named Box got shot. One of the other dudes, they call him Box. And they said actually he even spoke out a few years ago. And he might even got a settlement behind the ordeal from the club or whatever, from the lawsuit, is what he's saying. So I seen when the lady said her car got the tires stabbed and she was being harassed. My take is she might have been being harassed because they felt that she was lying, trying to lie on Puff. So allegedly Puff might have sent the goons to tell her to stop trying to lie. Not to send them there not to testify, stop trying to lie is what I take out of it. And that's what he's trying to explain to me, which he will be explaining to y'all. Y'all will hear this interview live tomorrow. And his name is mentioned in the New York, it's an article on it, and they mention his name inside of this article. It says, the jury in Sean Puffy Combs' criminal trial finally heard from the mysterious Matthew Scar Allen on Wednesday, but not in person. Instead, New York City Police Detective Joseph Shyne read Allen's written account of seeing Combs and Jamal Shyne Barrow fire guns in Club New York and endured cross-examination in Allen's place. The detectives also revealed for the first time the identity of the man who threw money at Combs just before the shooting. It was a friend of Allen's, which is Scar. It was a friend of Allen's with the unlikely name of Marcus Welby, according to Allen's account. So this is the guy that they said, and this is in an article that the police said, threw the money. The guy that y'all will be hearing from his mouth. Then it says, Allen, whose verbal assault on Combs allegedly sparked the shooting and who is in a New York jail, was scheduled to testify this week until lawyers from both sides agreed to instead allow his written account to be introduced. Scar won't testify at Puffy trial. So, I ain't gonna get into all that other stuff, but he ain't want to testify. He ain't want to get on that stand and look bad is what they trying to say, I guess. But those are the things that happen, man. And a lot of y'all need to stop being mad at J-Lo, because according to my sources, Puff did not shoot. So that's why she didn't say nothing to testify about Puff shooting. People trying to say J-Lo need to go to jail because she seen Puff shoot and she ain't say nothing. So she didn't see him shoot. So that means she's telling the truth. So y'all need to stop being mad at J-Lo, man. And Shyne been complaining and complaining, man, that Puff left him for dead and really didn't help him because he didn't have money like that. His album wasn't out yet. So, you know, Puff gave him money and he paid for the lawyers, which them lawyers was a part of the Bad Boy team. So, you know, he utilized it. And, you know, they fought in self-defense for him. And that's what it is. So, yeah, we're gonna get to the meat of things, people. We getting ready to get it popping. All this stuff is MTV. It's MTV news, and then you know you got all of this is MTV news. So that's a fact, man. Y'all get ready. I'm gonna let him explain it to y'all. He gonna give y'all the facts of what happened when he threw the money and how all hell broke loose, man. So yeah, y'all stay tuned, man. I got something good for y'all, man. So y'all get ready because part 2 is coming. I'm gonna see y'all on the next go round, man. But y'all be ready, man. We're gonna see if the lady is telling the truth about being shot by Puff and not Shyne. Or did Shyne shoot the gun and maybe it happened so fast she thought it was Puff that shot her and really it wasn't Puff. So yeah, we're gonna bring this good information, man. We're gonna bring the rest to y'all. So part 2 coming, y'all stay tuned, man.